I was wondering if I could ask you why you would want to take away my right to marry the person that I would love. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all treat each other with dignity and respect, and all live and let others live? If you don't agree with same-sex marriage, you don't have to get one, but do you have to stop others from getting one if they are Americans too and deserve liberty and justice as much as you? You can marry any eligible person that you love, provided she will have you, of course. No one proposes denying you dignity or respect. We simply do not intend to allow you to redefine marriage. If you say that you do not intend to allow me to get legally married to the person that I would love, I don't understand how you are being nice to me, let alone treating me with dignity and respect. Well, Sean, I suppose we will have to agree to disagree here. If your objection was that I was denying you the right to marry 4 others that you love, or a German Shepherd, or a 3-year-old, or an asparagus plant, my answer would be the same. It is not marriage. If my refusal to allow you to redefine humanity's most basic institution causes you upset, then I am afraid that we are going to have to politically settle our differences. Agreeing to disagree is different than taking rights away from other people because you disagree. Do you wish to compromise my fundamental rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? There is no right being taken away here, Sean. The right to marry is qualified, as always, by the sovereign people. We do not allow, for example, marriage of close relatives, or marriage of minor children, or marriage of multiple spouses, or marriage between members of the same gender. Our elected officials are about to learn for the 31st consecutive time that we the people will not stand for any redefinition of marriage against our will. Since marriage is, and has always been, the union of the 2 genders of our species, your right to pursue it remains perfectly intact, so long as you can find an eligible member of the opposite gender who will have you. Again, if you don't believe in gay marriage, you don't have to enter into one, but why stop others from living their own free lives? Why do gay people deserve such scorn and contempt from others who do not agree with homosexuality? Is there a deeper agenda against gay people behind the Yes on One campaign? Apparently, Sean, you are either unable to read or else unwilling to grasp what I have written. We will have to settle this at the polls. I hope that you will one day see the ugliness of hatred that shows through the suffering of others, and if you foster such ugliness, I will forgive you for it. Forgiveness is a wonderful thing, Sean. I will never apologize for defending marriage, but I certainly hope that once it becomes inescapably clear that we will not redefine it, alternative means to secure the legitimate rights of ineligible persons will be examined. What is the essence of marriage that you should protect it from gay people? Gay or straight, we are all the same. The essence of marriage, Sean, is that it is the uniting of the 2 genders of our species. Always has been, always will be. While we are all human, we are not all the same. Some of us are male, some of us are female. It is the uniting of those 2 genders which constitutes the essence of marriage. Marriage is the unification between 2 consenting adults who love and commit to each other in a sacred bond. I get that most couples unite as male and female, but it is most couples, not all, while some couple as 2 males or 2 females. How is this bad? As I said, Sean, we have 2 competing definitions of marriage here. This is why we will have the election on November 3rd. I assure you that we will win, and it will not be close, even though you will have massively outspent us, and even though you have the media and the politicians lined up behind you. Won't matter. I have been phone banking all week, Sean, and you are not going to succeed in redefining marriage in Maine. Why the competition? Can't we coexist? Of course we can coexist, Sean, but first we must restore the definition of marriage to what it has always and everywhere been. Once that is accomplished, as I said, we can turn our attention to ways in which the legitimate rights of ineligible persons might be secured. Can't my gay marriage and your traditional marriage coexist with each other? No, Sean, we have 2 irreconcilable definitions of marriage, and there is no reconciling them. That is why we will have the election November 3rd. That will reestablish the traditional definition of marriage in Maine, just as Prop 8 reestablished it in California. Maine will show that no free election will ever redefine marriage. At a certain point, the gay rights movement will either try to enforce redefined marriage through the courts, or they will move on to establishing legal structures to benefit the legitimate interests of ineligible persons in non-marriage relationships. I hope they choose the latter, but I bet they won't. Therefore, I expect a long and drawn-out political and legal battle for years to come. Traditional marriage will, in the end, prevail. Please, God. Why is gay marriage bad? Because it is not marriage. Gay marriage is bad because it is not marriage. That sounds a bit confusing. That's okay, Sean. All the confusion will be over as far as Maine is concerned on November 4. Do you have the courage to tell me why a loving and committed gay marriage is bad? I have already told you, Sean, that there are a great many committed and loving relationships that are not marriage. The question on the ballot is, what is the definition of marriage? Since we have two competing definitions of marriage, only one of those definitions will be legal in Maine on November 4. I have made 15 contacts of Maine voters while we have been chatting today. Every one of them is voting yes on one, and every one of them has at least one other registered voter living with them who is also voting yes on one. I am feeling very confident. My future marriage will be as good and beautiful as your marriage, and no supreme or self-righteous person will ever take that away from me. Best of luck on your future marriage, Sean. I am sure she will be a very lucky bride. All the best. He will be a very lucky groom, but not as lucky as me.